Thanks for checking out another clip of the Cashflow Contractor. We'd love to have you as a part of our audience. Click subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
I want to hear about how you got into business.
Yeah. Well, I give all credit to my family. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? So my grandfather, his dad died really young, and he had a large family, and he had to go drop out of high school to go work at a tire shop. And he supported his family. He became dad, at a young age, and that'll mature you pretty fast. And it'll make you look at your teenagers a little differently when they don't want to get off the couch and wash dishes, right? You're like, wait a second, my grandfather, and his dream for me was to paint the road, paint the highway. He's like, James, I want you to open a company that will paint the roads. That was his big dream. And then my father, same kind of thing. Dad died young, self-made man, built his own house. He wanted me to be a plumber. And he's like, look, you need to have a solid profession, a Main Street profession that will take care of you and your family. And I did. The first thing I did was start a painting and power washing company. And I'm dating myself, but almost 3 decades ago. It's a long time. I look a lot. Somehow I've kept my baby face, but I'm not that young, thank goodness. But going door to door, knocking. We were talking about earlier, Martin, before copy machines were even around, right? And you're sending faxes and trying to get things, signed. But that's my roots. That's where my roots come from. I had a team, and we ran a power washing company, painting company, and I've seen it all, done it all, made lots of mistakes. But at the end of the day, I decided I wanted to get a college education. I thought that'd be important for our family going forward. So put myself through college while running a company. And then from there, got really interested in technology. I grew up in the age of when the first internet came, and it blew my mind. I mean, to hear the beep, boop, and I'm tapping something.
The modems.
I know. It was like the fax machine got, it graduated, and ever since then, I'll pause there. I got into different companies that, we got into technology and building tech and then building big business from nothing. One of our companies went from an incubator to Inc. 500 to a exit where the company is still around. It's a multi-billion-dollar company that we created from nothing. So we love building big businesses, and we're doing it again in our current company.
And we can talk. And when you say we, who's we?
So I have a group of partners. My other partner, he was in the landscaping business. He had landscaping, and then he had laundromats, and same kind of thing. He got excited about technology. And the first place we went as business owners, we'd go to our accountants and bookkeepers, and I couldn't understand the income statement and balance sheet. I knew the accountant was talking, but I was like, I don't really know how to apply that. And I bet I'm not the only one. So we created a technology where you could put your income statement and balance sheet into it, and it would create a plain language report of how you're doing in your business and compare you to others in your industry. And it created a repository of all of this private company data, which of course is impossible to get. They're not public companies. And that turned into a technology that we could help banks write loan software against. And now our software that we created is in every bank across the country. And that's what created that
amazing.
billion-dollar company. And we sold the company because you get a little tired sometimes, and got into philanthropy. And we can talk about that too. But a little journey, from there, our philanthropy is called Inmates to Entrepreneurs, where we put thousands and thousands of currently and previously incarcerated men and women through our entrepreneurship programs, because people don't like to hire people with a record, as you guys might know. And so that's been very successful and led to an ABC television show called Free Enterprise. And we won a bunch of awards. You can check it out on ABC TV. My partner is a star of the show, and get a box of tissues, because it is one of those that, like, those heartwarming, people that were incarcerated and now run a business, a tile company or a painting company, or you name it, bakeries and all kinds, men and women. So that's been a joy, but we wanted to get back into a for-profit, and that's where our story will go. And I'll talk about where I am in a little bit. Yep. Go ahead.
Just real quickly, what did the college degree have to do with it? Did you get electrical engineering or MIS or?
Well, I thought I wanted to be an engineer at University of Michigan. And then I worked for an engineering company at Duke University for a little bit and decided that wasn't for me, putting AutoCAD drawings down of hospitals and, it wasn't for me. And so I went and I was like, I think I need to go general education and business because I've got a business mind. So I finished up my business degree and I got a business degree. Mhm.
Love it. Man, that's so interesting. I know we have listeners that are previous inmates and just like you said, could not get a job. And so that's why they started their own company. And really cool to see the transformation that brings and the perseverance that they have. And just really cool that you're doing that and you got it onto ABC. I love that. So I'm curious, out of all the endeavors that you've done from, you had your power washing, you had your painting, and you had the software for the banks. Now you're in Live Switch, which we'll talk about in a moment. Um, what are some of the common threads throughout your time as being an entrepreneur that you've kind of experienced? What are some of the lessons you've learned or the traits that you've had to have as a business owner that have helped you be successful?
I mean, as all entrepreneurs know, you wear a lot of hats, and sometimes
Yeah.
you feel ill-equipped in certain moments, especially as you scale a business or grow a business. And also, if you hire people, okay, now you're a manager, now you're a boss, now you're trying to make payroll and make sure people can feed their families, and the pressure that gives, especially when you hand somebody a check and you don't get paid that month as the owner because you had some capex or something you had to spend money on, and then sometimes the employees aren't grateful. Right. But they don't know.
Something.
It's like, and I don't wanna belittle anybody, but it's like having kids, like sometimes I can't explain to my kids certain things, just like I can't explain to my team what this is, and that's okay. That's okay. That's part of being the mom and dad of the organization, right? So I would say some of the things is make sure you have a mastermind group. Right? So you're not
Ooh.
fighting the battle alone, right? Like who's on your board of directors? Maybe you even have a board of directors, but if you don't, where do you go to when you need help? And that comes in all kinds of forms. I found mastermind groups with other entrepreneurs of all different types. I found specific niches of mastermind groups that are running a similar business, and then my vendors. And it's amazing if as long as you know it's a good vendor. Some vendors just want your money and whatever, but some vendors are in front of so many uh, other of my competition that they can give me the what's working and what's not working. So building that network, I think, is probably one of the most important things as an entrepreneur, especially as you go through different stages of growth. Whether in the puberty stages of growth, whether you're in maturity, or whether you're ready to sell your business, which I know a lot of
Mm.
people as they come to enter. And how do you do those, and how do you do those well? You need a good circle of friends.
Yeah. What would you say your strengths are as a business owner, like things that you really thrive in? Obviously, you're doing a lot of podcasts, so I think you're a great speaker and leader. But also, what are the things that you're like the first thing you go to hire because you don't want to be doing it or you can't do it as well as others?
Definitely legal. I can't stand the I's and T's of legal work. That's like the first thing I do to cover my backside. The bookkeeping, not my most fun thing. I want someone else to keep my books. And then, of course, HR, not my favorite. Hiring, I'll interview, but I want someone to go find top talent for me. Where I like to personally, this is me, and everyone's different. I
Yeah.
like to be in the operations, product, and sales. I want to be on the front lines with the customers. My customers have the answer to the test no matter what industry I've been in. They always know the answer. And if you talk to enough, I call them serious people, guys that know their data, know the industry, know what's going on. I can learn from them. And the best artists steal, right? So I spend my time finding the thought leaders in any given industry and learning from them and taking notes. And it's amazing how fast you can grow in your knowledge in such a short period of time when you surround yourself with high quality people. That's where I like to spend my time the most is with those
Mhm.
thought forward thinking. They're getting the job done and they're excellent in what they do. And you can tell, when someone's a
Yeah.
serious person. So that's what I like to do right now and any one of my businesses, frankly.
Yeah, I love that. So are you saying the serious people are serious customers or are they the serious people that are already in the industry doing what you do?
Serious customers.
Serious customers.
Customers
Got it.
customers that
Love
are
it.
running their business in a way that is excellent. They're leading the way, and it's not always the biggest ones. It's not always the largest
Yeah.
ones, but you will know very quickly, especially if you get in front of enough people where you can take the meat, leave the bones. Everyone's a great person, I'm not saying
Yeah.
saying that, but I am saying there's some folks that really know the business so well, and they're willing to spend time with you, and, you need to be somebody that can make that connection, you've got to be able to give back as well, not just take.
Yeah.
But when you start meeting so many people, you actually have so much to give, even to a quote unquote serious person. And you
Yeah,
become
you're like that supplier you mentioned who's in front of so many people learning that.
exactly.
I'd like to point out too, and we talk about it all the time, but our listeners will recognize that the three things that you mentioned that you offload, HR and books and legal, are all administrative functions, right?
Yeah.
That's where everybody falls down. I mean, that's a theme that we talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I love that. I love spending more time with customers and serious people. And that definitely applies in a B2B setting for sure, but it also applies in the B2C. If you're working residential construction, finding those great customers that are the ones that you want more of, spending time with them, understanding their pains, understanding how you can really add value to them. Really valuable.
Thanks for checking out a clip from the Cashflow Contractor. We have full episodes where we go deep on topics that help you grow a construction business that runs without you, so you can have less stress, more time, more money. Now, we've got other videos, other clips, but if you want to check out the full episode for this clip, you can click wherever our editor put it. It might be here, it might be there, it might be over my face, I don't know. But thank you for checking us out. We'd love to have you as a part of our audience. So subscribe or check out a full episode wherever you get podcasts.